Hello, my name is Shadley, and welcome to yet another Victoria 3 Let's Play. In previous Let's Play, we played as Korea, and we met some of our goals and failed to meet others. But today, as you probably guessed, we're going to be playing as Argentina. I think we're going to go with the hegemony objective, although we might not follow that all the way through. But yes, we're playing as Argentina, and we got two primary goals for this particular playthrough. That is have the highest prestige of all of South America, and also to have at least 50% of the states in South America to be part of our market. Presumably a market that we own or are the leader of, and not in such a way that, I don't know, we're part of the American market or something. If the Americans are part of our market, then that's fine. But anyway, let's jump into the game so we can have a look at the things that we need. And we got the hegemony player objective. We might not follow that all the way through, but that's alright. I guess we'll start with the research. So we start with fairly decent things already. I suppose we could get the lathe. At least. Then in military, we already start with most of the tier 1 stuff as well. In society, there's 3 techs that we don't have on the tier 1. In the production, it's just this one. So we'll get the lathe. That's going to be starting to spread to us anyway. We do have quite a few states. Well, partial states at least. Like this one we don't own completely. Bolivia owns half of it. We could start incorporating this state, to be fair. It doesn't have a lot of population like most of these states. It would only take 2 years to incorporate that. You know what? We'll do that. And also, with this is the state that we can build iron in. I think that is the only one that we can build iron, because we've got a shortage of iron right now. It's not a huge shortage, mind you. There is a shortage. It's largely needed for military right now. There are actually 2 states where we can build this. Now that one... Oh, right, it's these 2. So that one doesn't have a lot of job seekers. We'll build one in here. We might not actually build any contractor sectors right now, because it's... 1, it's going to take a lot of resources, and 2, we don't have that huge population. So in a lot of cases, there's just not enough job seekers in most of these areas. Like, a lot of the places only have maybe 10,000. This one's got almost 20,000 peasants. But most of them have like maybe 10,000. So that's like 1 or 2 buildings, and that will already be pretty low. So we need to be a bit more careful with all of that. That's alright. If we have a look at our laws... First of all, government is landowners and armed forces. We might want to reform that a little bit. We do have a presidential dictatorship as the thing, so we don't actually have any voting yet. We could maybe try to go for oligarchy from autocracy, because we've been autocracy in quite a few playthroughs, so we could try going for that one. But let's first go ahead and reform the government a little bit. We'll probably go ahead and get the Catholic Church in here, just to be able to pass some laws, because there's other things that we might want to do. If we have a look at the institution, it's only 10 bureaucracy more or less per level for us right now. We do start with some colonial affairs, which means that well, it's partially because we've got some colonies already ongoing. And then we've got some law enforcement, it's the local law enforcement, and then we've got the home affairs for the... Was it the National Guard? Yes, the National Guard. And National Militia as well as our military type. So it does at least... It is better than the peasant levies, for sure. It's not necessarily the best, but we might have to rely quite a bit on the national or conscripts in general if we would want to do our wars. We got, of course, the Presidential Republic. We got autocracy, racial segregation, freedom of conscience. So at least some of these laws aren't quite as bad as for other playthroughs. We got interventionism from the start. That's quite handy. We got mercantilism, so we can do some trading. Per capita taxation, which is already pretty decent. We got tenant farmers, so we don't need to worry about a serfdom. Although tenant farmers, it's not really that much better in terms of the landowner political strength, but it's slightly better at least. We got frontier colonization. So migration instruction in unincorporated states. Means that there's at least going to be a bit more people moving in. There's the... Is there colonial exploitation? Does that allow... No, it's just a level 2, I think. I don't think it increases the max level. No. Okay. So not really going to be changing that. But I think what we might want to do is get some charity hospitals going. I know that industrialists don't like that one, but we want to get our healthcare in a fairly good shape so that the population can grow. But let's actually have a look at the overview of the states here. So we've got 30,000 over there. That will be getting another 30,000, about 40,000 in here. This one we're not currently colonizing, to be fair. Then in the north we've got another 9,000 and 8,000. So we'll probably get to like maybe 900,000 to a million by the time we're done colonizing all of these. In terms of colonizing, we do have claims on all of the southern areas in here, except, actually, do we have, don't think we have one in here, do we? No, we do. But also Chile's got claims on a lot of these areas, like this one. What about, oh, they got a claim over there, but not on these two at least. But essentially we'll be competing with the Chileans for the colonization of all that southern area. And now we do have, well, we got the iron shortage, we got small arms shortage and clippers. We're buying all of those. If we have a look at our market in general, let's see. So we could use a bit more fruits. Actually, that's quite easy to do. We'll just go ahead and take one of these maize farms and start producing a bit of sugar and fruit. It's not necessarily going to be the best location for it, but it's not too bad, actually. It's got fairly good bonuses on infrastructure and agriculture and plantations through it. And how many levels can we... Oh, we could actually have quite a bit in here. Of course, we just don't have the population necessarily to run all of those. But then in terms of buildings, we already start with one textile mill, furniture manufacturing and tooling workshop, and then one urban center to go with those. Then we've got some wheat farms, that one maize farm. We got some livestock ranches, a vineyard, a iron mine being built. We got 2 gold mines. I believe we can build at least 1 or 2 more. So that's good. We'll get a decent bit of money. And of course, this run, we don't need to pay 20% of our income to anyone. At least not yet. We'll see how it goes later on. But at least for the time being, we're going to use all the money that we have. We could put the fishing trawlers, but that would be another 5 clippers. And I don't think we have that. I suppose one of the things that we could do... Well, we don't have a lot of people available. But if we were to get a shipyard in here... Hold on, can we not build the shipyard? Or do we... We can do military shipyard for sure, but the regular one? Oh, there's a scroll wheel. Right, so it is down there. We could get... How much is that? 35 clippers? That might be a little bit of overkill, but that would allow us to drop one of the trade deals. Actually, if we look at the trade deals that we have right now, we're selling some clothing to Brazil, which might not be that good of an idea right now, since they... Well, it does increase the price a little bit of clothing. I think we can, well actually, oh, that's the Man of Wars. We do have one flotilla right now, and we don't necessarily want to get rid of that one, to be fair. Because we've realized that having a fleet early on, or relatively early on, allows you to have a more interest, but the areas that we're considering, well actually, let's do it through the declare interest. So what we're considering as South America is Gran Colombia, the Andes, the Plata, and Brazil. So that's the areas that we are sort of focused on. Hopefully, at least. But let's go ahead and unport, shall we? So we do indeed have 4 colonies ongoing. Ooh, colonial power. Well done. You've just completed your first objective and are well on your way to establish your own hegemony. Ah, okay. So African colonies, form alliances. Rank is equal to... Oh, okay. So we need to have a major power ally. Maintain subjects. At least 5 countries. Be subject and equal to major power or higher. Well, that's not necessarily going to happen right now, but we're going to get the iron mine built, and that's hopefully going to reduce the iron price a decent bit, and we might actually be already able to use some of that as tooling. Where do we have the tooling workshop again? Down here. So if we were to, yeah, we can probably then switch to the raw iron tools, which will give us a lot of tools for fairly cheap money, which we can then maybe use, for example, in the farming. Oh, Brazil declared rivalry. Bolivia is improving relations. Actually, Bolivia, I think it might be a good idea for us to keep good relations with you for now. If Brazil wants to rival, then that's fine. They do have a larger army. We only got 6 battalions right now, and they've got 18. Plus they've got a civil war going on, to be fair, so there's that. But I think that's going to be 5. Uruguay, you've got 4 battalions. We do need to increase our military size at some point. Let's go on speed 4, shall we? Age of Cordilleras. Following the Argentinian independence from Spain, a power vacuum was left in place of the colonial government, which quickly filled with charismatic armed force leader. These caudillos have come to define much of South American politics. Might makes right. Oh, so what's this then? So the progress bar will be determined by various positive or negative conditions. The progress bar reaching 100 will cement the power of the military strongmen in Argentina Confederation. Next month, the progress bar will change by 0. Completing progress bar and keeping the armed forces out of government will destroy Cardilissimo in the armed forces and end the trade of military strongmen in the country. So it essentially probably allows us to reduce the chance of military juntas just keeping hold of the land. Now, to be fair, we did already kick the military out of the government for the time being. Actually, that reminds me. Outliner, we should put in the interest groups there. And that is a whole of... so late is spreading, paddle steamer is spreading, banking is spreading. Armed forces are now powerful. They do have quite a bit of influence, to be fair. So let's double check. What was the... It will complete if armed forces are not part of the government. The progress bar is depleted. Will fail is armed forces are part of the government and progress bar is full. So Las Cardillissimo. So presidential republic, land voting, single party state, hereditary bureaucrats, appointed bureaucrats, local police force. Alright then, armed forces support attraction, political strength of the officers, or if it fails... Oh, right, so that's the thing that we already have. And then if we fail, we'll get that permanently and increases the level. I suppose it might be part of because they are currently influential, so it will be double the effect. But yeah, there's a lot more armed force political strength and armed force pop attraction. Political strength of the officers would go up. I mean, it's not necessarily the worst, but I think we'll just let it start drifting downwards right now. We don't necessarily want to stay as a sort of autocracy or anything like that. Ooh, right, so we've got a lot of authority. I suppose one of those things that we should do is decrease. Let's go ahead and maybe get some more migration into our capital. And also we can put in the resource industry over there. That's going to be quite handy. Some agriculture in there. What about Santa Fe? What do we have there? We got a little bit live. We could have some farming there. We could also turn this into a bit of a manufacturer. We got the furniture manufacturer in there already. So we improve the productivity. That might help. Over here we've got a textile, but there's a whole lot of agriculture in here. What's the modifiers? There is no modifiers in there. What about Santa Fe there? Oh, actually, we'll take that one out and we'll put in the agriculture in there. I suppose that could be our industrial area. We could probably get another industrial boost for our capital. And then we got several... Oh, actually, Mendoza. That is split still, so I don't think... We could probably give it a boost. And we don't have basically no buildings in there, though. It could be pretty good for mining, though, so maybe we'll put in the resource industry there. We're not too short on money right now. Although that's partially because we're not doing a lot of construction work yet. We're just using the free construction right now. I suppose what we should do is also a bit more diplomacy. Now we could improve relations with, let's see. Let's improve relations with New Granada. We can probably even improve relations with Chile for the time being. Eventually we may need to start fighting them, and USA is probably a good idea to keep happy so they won't interfere too much with our expansion plans here. Oh, we could actually probably lower the taxes a little bit. At least keep it a medium right now, so it will hopefully allow us to get a bit more loyalists. It will improve the legitimacy a tiny bit, but it won't really improve the stuff too much yet. The fall of Salaverry. The defeat of Felipe Salaverry's coup attempt has led to complete consolidated Bolivian dominion over Peru. Supreme Protector Andres de Santa Cruz has declared the imminent formation of a confederation between the two nations. This confederation must disappear forever. Maneuvers per diplomatic play for 2 years. Troop battalions. Or there is yet potential for a fruitful partnership. You know, we'll just go ahead and improve the relations with them. So we do have the Colossus of the South DLC now. I decided to buy that, but it wasn't all that expensive anyway. And since we're playing in the region, it's mostly, I suppose, technically speaking, focused on Brazil, but clearly there are some things for other South American nations. We've got a bit of radicals. The loyalist numbers aren't really going up yet, and the standard of living is 8.8. We're still at a fairly decent literary rate. The GDP is a bit of a lackluster, though. But hopefully the colonies are going to go mostly fine. Well, hopefully we'll get a bit of progress on the charity hospital. Oh, wow. Okay, so we get an extra 50% chance there. So now we've got 1 in 4 chances of advancing, which isn't too bad. There's quite a bit of radicalism in there, I suppose. Oh, we got a tobacco tax already. Is there any other taxes that we could put in? Service tax? That's not really a lot. So there's not really any good taxes in here right now. We'll get to that later, I suppose. We could technically bolster a faction. We'll go ahead and bolster the Catholic Church for now, just to make sure that we can get the charity hospitals maybe a bit easier past. So how long until that one's done? 30 weeks. Oh yeah, it is a bit time-consuming effort. Get those mines. So maybe after that we should get some construction sectors. Maybe over here, this is going to be the industrial area anyway, so we'll build one construction sector in here. Now, there is a chance that since we have such a low population, the private sector will start building some buildings that aren't really going to be all that great for us. Mostly because they're just going to build things that are just going to split the workforce even more, and there's not going to be enough people to run any of the construction work. I mean, over here, or any of the buildings rather. So over here we got a bit of lack of population as well. We are using the harvesting tools on some of these. So actually, are we doing... Oh yeah, we're using it on all the farms that we can. We've got the sawmills. Don't suppose we need a lot of hardwood yet. At some point we might want to get at least some. Especially for the furniture manufacturing, actually. We had some hardwood production, which we don't. We're going to get some luxury furniture, which might not be profitable right now. I suppose there's a huge demand for regular furniture. Well, it's not that huge demand, locally at least. But in the market, yeah. I mean, how much does it produce? 45. So if you go for this one, it's going to be 20 and 25. Also 20 regular furniture and 25 luxury. I think we are actually going to do that. And then there should be... yeah, there's logging camps in here. So we'll go for hardwood production there. To keep the price relatively low, and then we might be able to get a pretty good luxury furniture production going in here. There's probably not a huge amount of demand for it yet, but I'm sure that that will start growing soon enough. There's currently only half a point of consumption locally, and 3... Okay, now there's 4 buy orders in the entire market. It's still fairly low price, admittedly, but we'll see how much we can do about that. Brazil is still fighting their civil wars in here. Do still have a little bit of bureaucracy, but we're kind of wanting to save that for... Oh, what's this then? Arming the natives. We discovered our rivals in Brazil have been arming the Mapuche natives in Mendoza. This is likely to impede our efforts to conquer the region. We should probably de-escalate the thing in there. Will that cause issues? So it's already in a little bit less in Mendoza. Injured farmers. Farmers' Corrientes have been making appeals to the government about the dangers of the equipment they are using, and would like to have some sort of healthcare to reduce the hardships for them. Try and offer help, that's 20% extra, or focus on establishing healthcare. 40% success chance, okay. Increase the mortality though, so maybe we'll just go with the 10% right now. We do not want to reduce or increase the mortality even further. Now, right now the annual population growth is about 20,000 projected. Hopefully once we get a bit of the healthcare going, we can increase that a bit further, or maybe just mostly reduce the mortality rates, but still, that'll be good. We've got these wages, I suppose we'll probably go with that for the time being. Hold on a minute, for the construction, we could go for the iron frame buildings. We don't have enough iron production for it to be profitable. So after the iron mine, we might want to go ahead and get another gold mine in here. Those gold mines tend to be fairly profitable, overall at least. I think we could maybe reduce the taxes even further, because we're about to reach the gold reserve limit. Technically speaking, you can go above that, but it's not advisable to do so. It's still going to take a little while until we get our first set of new colonial provinces from the start of this game. Or since the start of this playthrough. Of course, we're not particularly far yet. The literary rate is hopefully going up, but it's not very quick. Right, there's a lot of illiterate people, that's for sure. And incorporated pops make us 727,000. There's 100,000 unincorporated pops right now. Some of them are probably moving into incorporated areas, to be fair. And then, of course, we are incorporating Jacuman over here. So that'll hopefully help a little bit more in there. As part of the Andes, so infrastructure is reduced. Oh, Uruguay is improved relations. Healthcare taxes. Government should probably cover the costs. It's 200 extra costs per week. It's not that much. And we'll get 30% success chance. So now we've got 65% chance of progress in the law. So that's all good. Legitimacy has gone up to the next bracket, so at least we should be getting some loyalists now. We've got a total of 66 of them, to be fair, which isn't a lot. But hopefully the amount of radicals will also start going downwards. Eventually, once we get the charity hospitals, that will no doubt make life a little bit easier, and the iron mine is about to be completed. We'll start working on the construction sector. How are we doing on the basic resource? So wood is something we'll need a lot more now that we started producing a bit of the hardwood. Is there any areas that, well, I suppose this one's probably good enough for some logging. Get one logging camp in there, and we should make sure that it does not produce any hardwood, just softwood. There we go. Now we got the iron production already. And it's probably not producing too much. It's currently only 2. It can produce up to 20. We need a little bit for our military. Actually, what is our military composition anyway? So we've got 6 battalions. We got 1 cavalry, cuirassiers. Oh, so that's where some of the iron goes. And then we've got some line infantry. We do need to get a little bit small arms. I mean, we are, I believe, importing some. Yeah, we're importing a little bit from Britain, which isn't really all that profitable right now. Ooh, and we've got a bit of extra bureaucracy. Well, that's handy. Is that because of the... Oh, petit bourgeoisie. Yeah. They're quite happy right now. The first set of colonies is all... Well, first set of colonial expansions are almost done, but of course it's going to take a while before we complete any of these states. We'll probably want to start working on Mapuche at some point as well. GDP hasn't really grown all that much. I suppose once we get the construction sector, that will at least speed up things a little bit. It's fairly little. Ooh, okay, wheat farm in our capital. I mean, suppose having... Ooh, low progress of consideration, finally. Getting a wheat farm over here is probably not a bad idea, because that will allow us to get a decent bit of extra production. How much would it be? It's 20 grain each. Okay, and we do have a bit of shortage of grain. Well, at least we are importing some grain from Britain. And I'm guessing, yeah, there's a shortage of about 40 right now, so having one of those is not bad. And the construction sector has been built. We'll get the gold mine, then after that a logging camp. Of course, now that we've got the extra construction sector, it's going to take a while before we get all the bonuses from it, I reckon. I mean, it's going to be hiring very, very slowly, essentially. And it does have a bit of shortage of wood. But I suppose we are building the logging camp in here. Oh, there we go. That's the first set of new building or new expansions in there. We'll start at the next set. Has Chile started colonizing in here? Yes, they have. Okay, so they will probably get the coast done, more or less. Stockpiling quite a bit of gold, which, to be fair, is fine. I knew that would be happening. Okay, so now we're losing a tiny bit of it, but that's fine, actually. We could probably even afford losing a bit more of it. Although the gas reserves or gold reserves aren't really that massive. So it will be fluctuating a lot, or fairly quickly, I reckon, right now. But at least the colonies are underway. We'll just go ahead and speed up to speed 5 for a little bit. Wait things to progress. We're getting a decent bit of the relations going. We'll try to get the law passed. I mean, it's got a fairly good chance of... Oh, 69% chance of progressing. So, yeah, it's probably going to go... Yep, there we go. And then one more time. Maybe we can pass it. Oh, but the legitimacy has dropped a little bit. That's unfortunate. We're about to get the lathe. That's going to allow us to get a bit more production, especially for the furniture. Because right now, I think that would be very handy. Extra 20 furniture. There is a fairly high price on the wood, admittedly. The regular wood, that is. So that is causing some issues there. So I'm suspecting that we can get that sorted eventually. But yeah, the population situation is not the best. It has been growing. I believe we started with a bit less, at least, in population. Like, it was about 800,000, like 810,000 maybe. Well, of course, we are colonizing a little bit. Oh, and there we go. We've got charity hospitals. Can we actually increase that level already? No, not yet. We could increase the law enforcement. I don't know if we really need to do that. I suppose another thing that we could try to pass is the religious schools. Just to get a bit of education going. We might make the Catholic Church, or the clergy, be fairly strong in this run. There we go, we got the lathe done. So that's a few techs there. In society, we could probably get the banking done a bit sooner. That would allow us to have a bit more. What are we getting in the military? It's a paddle steamer. This is also not a bad one, to be fair. Make our ship at least slightly better. On the other hand, the production... Well, you know what? We'll go ahead and get the banking. Then we'll help with the paddle steamer, and then we'll figure out something in the production, maybe. We'll keep fluctuating, or going between the options this time around at least a bit more. Not focusing completely on the production as we did in the previous run, as Korea. Okay, so the amount of loyalists is slowly improving. But it's not improving all that much. There's a huge shortage of wood in the Argentinian market. Now, to be fair, we are... Oh, right, they already built one. Yeah, they got the wheat farm already built in here. That's going to start providing a little bit of work and, of course, some stuff from there. I don't know how much the private sector is going to keep on building. Oh, but it's taking half the production. Right, okay. That makes sense. Because we're not an agrarianism right now. Ooh, in Santa Fe, we're having a bit of a problem with the standard of living. The service price is bloody massive. It is increasing the colony size, at least. There's not a lot of peasants available. I suppose, let's have a look. Encouraging the agriculture, at least. There is... Oh, yeah, the standard of living is pretty rough in here. There's some aristocrats and capitalists in there, which are doing fairly good. But I suppose there's the logging camps might... No, I suppose the logging camps isn't too bad, but it's the wood that is probably missing a lot right now. So we're getting a wood cutting over here. I suppose that's fine in Corrientes. Law proposal causes uproar in mature communities, claiming that the enactment of religious schools would affect the country's quechua residents in a disproportionately negative way. Vibrants have riled their communities against the current law proposal. And their thoughts, concerns as how, false issue through. That would cause some more radicals, but give us a 10% more success chance. Make some token amendments, they'll still become more radical. Or acknowledge and address their concerns, and that's minus 10% success chance. We can probably afford losing a bit of prestige, or bureaucracy, so we'll get a bit higher chance of passing this. We will get a bit more radicals, but I don't think it's going to be too massive portion of the population. Actually, speaking of population, let's have a look at the chart. So, peasants only make about 35% of the population. And we got 38% labourers already. There's quite a few clerics as well. Population is mostly Platinarian. And what about the religion? Mostly Catholic and some animists. Okay. Well, that is good to know. Gold mines are being built. Do we have a lot of peasants available in here? Hold on a minute. How's the... Ooh, we're running out of infrastructure already in here. Ooh, law progress to consideration already. So did we ever... this is already incorporated state. Ah, and it's still having the problem with infrastructure. And I don't... Well, we can't build the railways in here yet. So that's a bit of a problem. So getting the gold mine might be a bit of a waste. I suppose one of the things that we could do, though, is since you are having some wood problems, if we go for raw iron tools, we'll have probably problems with both of them for a little while, but it might allow us to get a whole lot more tools, reducing the tool cost. That is a bit costly right now, though. I suppose the construction cost is a bit high, but also there's the government wages and many other things. Now we've got both wood and iron shortage. So we may have actually made it worse. We're getting the logging camp in Corrientes soon enough, though, so that will hopefully start reducing the issues that we have. Also, yeah, you're not prioritizing the softwood production. Or rather, you are prioritizing softwood rather than hardwood. Okay, so our money is dropping very quickly here. Are we getting the tools at least produced? A little bit. Oh, we're subsidizing this. Okay, well, I suppose subsidizing it is kind of useful, but also quite expensive by the looks of it. Discord with the armed forces. With their support, this bill shall pass. Yeah, we'll take that one. Oh, there we go. The GDP is slowly starting to grow again. I'm about to get the banking, so that's going to give us a bit more minting. Admittedly, we don't get that much money from minting yet. Music to my ears. Well-acclaimed troop of wandering artists have arrived to Argentine Confederation, followed by hundreds of requests about our generous government funding one of their concerts. That would be for 5 years. We do get more prestige, though, which could help us. You know, we'll take that. It's a bit of expenditure, but it's not that bad in the end. Especially since we're about to get the banking done soon. Oh, there we go. We've got the logging camp in the north. Or northeast in Corrientes. So that is slowly hiring people. It will provide a whole lot more wood into the market. Which hopefully will start relieving some of the issues in there. Oh, right, that reminds me. We did get the... It's probably easier to do from here. So the furniture manufacturer is definitely going to get the lathes. That's going to allow us to get some more production. We will need to get some dyes, I suppose. We'll get the dye workshop. Actually, we don't need to do it quite yet. We will do it eventually, though. We won't have any silk. Well, we could buy silk, I suppose. Not necessarily quite yet, but somewhere down the line. We don't have enough clippers to increase the fishing production, although I suppose the fish price itself isn't all that bad anyway. It is a bit elevated, I suppose. Maybe we should go ahead and start building the... We'll build a dye plantation, probably over here, actually. We'll have a bit more population to spare. And then we're going to start producing more clothing, which would be quite handy. But with that, we are unfortunately out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, little like, subscribe if you haven't already. Also check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.